And 3, 2, we are live, episode 16, and No One Told Me Hockey Podcast. Jack, what is going on?
Nothing, man. It's been a while since we talked, actually. Over a week, right? Since we did the last one really early in the week, and then this one is right at the end of the week. So these are way spread out, but so we haven't really talked, and I think both of us have been pretty busy, so we've barely been texting or anything, too. I thought at one point you might be dead because I hadn't heard from you in like 4 days, dude.
Dude, it's kind of, you know what? The last week, we have had so many tours. I had a tour every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Do you have a script? Like, are you saying like the same thing over and over again, pretty much?
It's the same foundation, and then depending on the player and their family, like
you customize it. You do a little customization, sprinkle in different things that they might be interested in.
Yeah. give them some different pieces, but that takes up a lot of the day.
Like how long does one tour take? Because I would imagine it takes a couple hours, right?
Yeah, usually show up around like 12:45, and then my part of the tour, like the tour itself, is probably done around like 2.
Okay.
And then they go to the coach for like an hour, and then I usually like walk them out afterward. So I'm kind of on call.
Right.
For like 3 or 4 hours. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that definitely takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So gotta be on my game. Be on my game.
Right. Yeah. And then I went to Florida. So
that's right.
Yeah. So last weekend I was in Florida, with like 7 of the guys I graduated with, like on my team.
Nice.
We were all in the same class. 3 of them were my roommates, so it was good to see them. I haven't seen all of them and some of them in almost a year now, just because like moving out here and stuff. And then the summer they all moved away, so it was cool to do that. It was really fun. Pretty heavy drinking weekend. So this weekend I've just been relaxing, just getting my body right.
There's not. I don't know. Maybe it's just as you get older, which I guess we're not that old, but. I don't mean you feel it for like a week after now.
Oh, I know. You've ever got that like mini like depression like after a trip, and it's like, do you get that ever? Like post like drinking trip depression where it's like Monday and Tuesday are just battles.
Dude, my captain freshman year, he used to call it hangxiety. Like
that's right, exactly.
Like, and it couldn't be more right. It's like, like what am I doing? Like, like
you feel so out of sorts. You just want to get back in like a rhythm or routine. So like this weekend has been good. I'm going golfing in a little bit, but I pretty much just like relaxed all weekend. So it's been good. Let me get into this story really quick because it was treacherous. So speaking of the weekend, this weekend now. So I'm getting ready for this triathlon, right? And yesterday I was supposed to do the full bike and the full run distances. So like you have confidence that you can do it. So I was like, all right, well, I might as well go, since where I'm doing it at, it's only like 25 minutes away. I'm like, I might as well go do it at follow the actual bike like path and then the run. So I'm like, all right, let's go do it. So I it starts off in these neighborhoods, and then it kind of goes out into like this country area by the mountains. And so there's a point in it for like 4 miles, I think, where it's like steady uphill. It's not like really uphill, but it's just constantly uphill the whole time. So I get out of the neighborhoods, I'm going to the countryside or whatever, and I'm pedaling up like starting to get uphill a little bit. I'm like, man, this is really hard. And I'm like on the lowest gear that I'm clicking over to. And I'm like, there's no way this is the lowest gear. There's no way. And I keep trying to click over. So I'm battling up this hill. And now it's getting to a point where it's like every stride is like digging in. I'm like, there's no way it should be this hard. So I had to, and my shoes are clip-in, mind you. So it's not like I can just pop my feet off really quick. Dude. So
you're a little anxious right now.
Oh yeah. So I'm starting to like lose it a little bit. I'm starting to get frustrated because now I'm having to pull over about every 2 minutes because like it's an absolute battle and my legs are getting gassed. And so at this one point, so I'm battling, stopping. And I get to this one point where it's like a curve, but it's like even more inclined than everything else now. So I'm like, there's no way I get up this hill. Like I'm dying. And so I clip off. I take both shoes off. I'm chilling there. And then so now to start back, I have to try to clip my shoe in and go.
On the hill.
So on the hill. So my shoe clips in.
Are you on the wrong route? That's what I'm thinking.
No. This is the correct route. It's just, so I'll get to it. So I clip my shoe in and I try to get on, but I miss my other one. So I don't get going and I fall over. I literally, boom, and fell over into the street onto the side that my foot was clipped in because I couldn't get it unclipped and put my foot down. So I
Are there
fall
cars?
over.
Are there cars?
No, thankfully there could have been, but thankfully there wasn't. So I unclip. I yell at the bike. I was pissed, dude, because I was like, just work. Like I was like
yelling at the bike.
I was like, gear up, because it wouldn't. So then I take both my shoes off. I take them completely off because they have these things on the bottom, like to clip in. So it's like you can't walk in them. I take them off. I'm walking up this hill in my socks, shoes in one hand, pushing the bike in the other hand.
Like push like a little kid.
Yeah.
Like
And cars were driving by. I'm waiting for a car to stop. Be like, oh, are you okay? Everyone's just just gassing me. So I get up to the top of the hill. My chain fell off in that process. So now my chain's off my bike.
How many minutes now at this point? If this was the real race, I mean, they've probably just ended you. They're like, yeah, like, hey, buddy, just hang out with us.
I was literally thinking that in the notes for this workout, it's like, yeah, to gain confidence that you can do the full distance. And here I am, not even halfway through the bike, and I'm having a mental breakdown yelling at the bike. Talk about a confidence booster.
Like a Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah.
Come on.
Dude, so I flipped the bike over, put the chain back on, and then like I'm messing with the gears, like spinning it like with my hand. And there's three more lower gears. And I was able to click over to it, and I flipped the bike over, I put my feet on. I'm like, where the hell were you guys the last 20 minutes? And so I found a problem. My bike doesn't like click over to them correctly. So there are lower gears.
You just have to get some. Okay, I have a
just
little
don't know
biker
how
tip.
to get to them.
I have a biker tip.
You even know how to ride a bike?
No, but my dad does. This is where I heard it from. If you are going a certain speed, like slow enough, it won't click over. Like you have to be going a certain speed for the chain. It's a safety thing, because if you're like inching along and you try to click, something will like fall off. I don't know. Maybe it's a chain. I don't know. But if you have to like get speed and then click over. So maybe like for the competition, like you see this mountain coming, like start to rip it and then click, and then now you're at the lowest speed and then it'll like get you up.
Yeah, I think if you click, if you're like you said, the speed, you can create tension in the chain too much, and it can like wear out your I don't know, your clutch or whatever you want to call it, your shifters or like the chain. But this one, like, I don't know, because then I was going fast and I was trying to downshift to those ones again, and it still wasn't letting me. I was able to do it one other time, like randomly, like I was clicking, and it like finally caught something where it like put it over. But then again, I did it again and I couldn't get it. So I battled. I almost had. Have you ever had those moments where you're so frustrated that like you want to just let out a tear almost of frustration, and then you're
maybe
I'm 25, 6. I can't.
I got two solutions. One, what if we try the route with a unicycle? Or two, training wheels.
Training wheels, I would definitely do, dude. You're
not falling over. You're not falling over with the training wheels.
Yeah, exactly. And I could just keep my feet locked in if I need a break. But dude, so I get down this hill and I fucking called it a day. I said I'm frustrated, and I did 14 miles total and called it a day. So I was so pissed. I got to bring the bike into the bike shop or something, or else I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, definitely get it fixed. I mean, at least you did that. Imagine if you didn't. Imagine if you waited till race day to do that.
I know.
Like a whole year of training, just. Your
Oh,
scream ends with you screaming at the bike.
dude, I was literally yelling at the bike on when I was riding. I was so pissed. So that was my day yesterday. After that, I was just defeated. My
Oh,
confidence was low. I got some Chipotle, took a nap, watched some NHL. I had to decompress. That was bad.
wait, speaking of naps, I have a game changer for the nap department for people.
Ooh, I'm a nap enthusiast, so let's hear it.
The eye cover, like the eyebrow, is
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
is a world's difference maker.
Yeah, because it like you don't get that light.
I had a full. Yesterday. I was pretty tired. I got back from Boston in the like late morning. Called one of my buddies. Hey, I'm gonna shut it down for a bit. Like I'll call you later. Covered
You
my
called your
eyes.
buddy to let him know that you're gonna
No,
shut it down.
no, no. No, I called my buddy, and then at the end of the conversation, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna shut it down. Like, I'll talk to you later." I don't know why I brought that up, but I did. I covered the eyes. Then I wake up 5 hours later after having a full dream, and
Oh,
I'm like out of it. Like,
you're in REM sleep. You're in REM. You
I
hit
was in
REM.
deep REM.
Yeah,
I had the hieroglyphics on my face from like the
dude.
pillow, and it was but the game changer. I'm talk about a game
Those.
changer.
Well, so for me, like if I wake up around like 6 a.m. to go pee or something, and the sun's out, and I try to go back to bed, I can't go back to sleep. But if usually I just use a shirt. I grab a shirt, put it over my eyes, like yeah, darken it out, game changer. I'm able to go back to bed. But if I don't, like that light just totally ruins it and doesn't allow me to go back to bed. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I
So
just don't like when it like if you can feel it on like you can feel it on what are these your eyelashes?
yeah, yeah,
Like
that's
if you
not great.
I don't like that. So you got to get the ones that like pop out a little bit, like a little bug,
Yeah,
like bug
yeah.
eye
There's like a
one.
whole tier. There's a whole system. Some of them are great. Some of them are like
Yeah.
paper to get this off my face.
Right, right. Have you ever woke sometimes if I wear one cuz I have one, I'll wake up and like half of it's like on like the back of my head, like it's
Oh,
like
my ears.
fully
Yeah,
rotated
your ears are
around, like
irritated.
it's
Like,
like
yeah,
choking me out sometimes. It's like down here.
that is funny. That's funny you say that. That is funny. That's a great story about the bike. I have been doing decent. Had a good week, a busy week with the tours, but for some reason, I I haven't done anything the last 5 days that are like physical. Besides, I
Mhm.
ran today,
Yeah.
but my knee. Uh, I don't know what it feels like. I blocked is a Dan Charo slap shot to my kneecap. That's what it feels like right now.
Have you been sitting a lot?
Yes,
That
it could be that.
that's usually what happens to me if I'm sitting a lot and it's that's when I start to get a lot of knee soreness. Is it in the inside or outside?
Right on top. Right on
Ooh,
top.
right on top. I wonder if it's a combination of you like haven't been working out and then like being stagnant.
Yeah, it could be that.
Probably a combo of that.
I'm gonna go
But
ask for a peg leg, like Peter Pan.
I need one too, dude. My right knee, dude, is just in pain every day. When I sit down for too long, oh, it's brutal.
I got a good one. I got a good little last story before we hop into hockey here.
Okay.
So Thursday night, one of our old teammates, Marcus Walter, drove up from his school and came up to see me.
Is he taking a fifth year?
No, no, he's going to work at Western Jamaica, Canada.
Okay.
So came up. I haven't seen him in a bit. Where did we go? The place that we went in Springfield, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's awesome.
The most overpriced fucking dump of wings ever.
But
their sauce
good.
Is good though. They got good
Yeah,
sauce.
nostalgic, right? Good time, right? So we get a nice table. We got lots of hockey on. That's why we chose to go
Oh,
there.
true.
Right? You got the Tampa game, the Ranger game. Right? So, well, 24, he's turned 25. What, you want to order a drink? Awesome. Lady comes by. He's like, yeah, can I get a little drink? Sure. Okay. We're watching the games. We're not causing havoc. Nothing. She said, can I see your IDs? I said, sure. I hand her my ID. Marcus hands her ID. She grabs Marcus's ID.
Is he a Canadian one?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
He says, what is this? That's what she says. She grabs it and says, what is this? Marcus says, it's Edmonton, Alberta. ID. To which she says, it's not real. To which Marcus says, yes, it is.
So you're at B-dubs, mind you.
Yeah, we're at B-dubs. We're at B-dubs. We're not causing havoc. We're at a table. We're
Right.
doing our own thing. She says, it's fake. I said, no, it's not. Marcus pulls out his Royal Bank of Canada credit cards. Like, what are you going to fake your credit cards? And lays them on the table. And he's like, I'm Canadian. Like, you can't hear it in my voice. Like, I'm Canadian. So she's like, let me talk to the manager. So she leaves. I'm starting to get a little agitated. I'm like, he chose to come to Buffalo Wild Wings. She comes back. She looks at mine and says, we can take this one. I'm like, of course you can. I'm 25. You can take it.
Right.
She looks at Marcus's and goes, we can't take this one. Marcus goes, I have pictures of my passport. Do you want that? She's like, no, we can't do that either.
What?
And now at this point, I look at Marcus. I go, do you want me to say, like, we'll call the police? Like, you came up, like, we're going to dinner. And then I realized, and he realized, like, we're just not going to make a scene. So I ordered my chicken sandwich.
You ate it. Still there?
Yeah, we did.
Why didn't you
starving.
leave?
We were starving.
Dude, you got to make a statement and get out of there.
I still give them my money.
You can't let that happen.
Talk about the disrespect to Canadians.
You leave.
What are you? You can't serve, but they'll serve the guy at the bar wearing the Rangers jersey, jumping on his chair when the Rangers score. They're like, here, give this guy more.
Yeah, double down on him. Double down on him.
Yeah. Double down on him and his Truly cans. Double down.
Well, dude, that happened to me in Florida. So my ID right now is paper because I'm switching my residency over to Utah. So, and I had to get a new one anyway because my Illinois one expired. So I'm getting a new one, but I have a paper ID in the meantime. And me being the dummy that I am, I literally thought about it. I'm like, oh, maybe I should bring my passport because I'm traveling with a paper ID. I didn't bring it. So that was a whole thing at TSA, getting through TSA with a paper ID. Not good. But so when we were in Florida, 2 of the bars that we tried to go to, they turned me down because of the paper ID. They wouldn't accept it.
So are you carrying like how big, like a 9x11 piece of paper that you folded up?
No, it's like the same width as like a regular ID, but it's like a strip of like the 11 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, and like it's got a barcode and everything, and both 2 bars turned it down. And like I'm like, dude, I'm 26 years old. Like I have 2 credit. I have a debt. No, one of the policemen was sitting right there, and I look at him and he goes, shakes his head. He's like, can't do anything about it. It's like, I'm like, are you kidding me? So we had to go to the same bar every night because that was the only one that would let me in. 26 years old. I battled more to get into a bar at 26 than I did at 19.
Yeah, just to watch a game. It's not like you're causing havoc either. Just watch a game.
Man, that's annoying, especially because like he has a real Canadian ID. It's
real Canadian ID. She said, "Sorry, what is this?"
Well, I actually kind of like this out of Utah. They scan IDs, so like if you scan it and it scans, I mean that's pretty legit. So like I'm sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but anyway, that wraps up my stories from the week. Got a bad knee, and I couldn't get a drink at Buffalo Wild Wings because they wouldn't give it to my buddy.
You could have. No, nothing was.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that. That's like.
But from the sounds of it, it sounds like you still had a good rest of your night. When I was texting you on Thursday,
it was fun. It was great to see. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. If anybody's watching the live feed right now, I look like Patrick Starr. That's how red the camera is making me.
Dude, I've been judging myself this whole time on camera. I look like a little twig. Like my shoulders are all like scrunched.
Yeah, but you are.
I look tiny right now. God.
Okay, you know who's not tiny? The Boston Bruins. Absolutely manhandling my Florida Panthers.
Florida got a game on them, though.
Florida did get a game on them.
Which I think that's about all they're going to get on them, to be honest.
Little gentleman, yeah. I don't know. I mean, today's a big one. 3:30 start. Mm-hmm. We'll see. I've been so impressed with the Bruins defense. It's just huge and mean and mobile.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of them this year because I watched the Panthers. That's the only team I watch.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden I'm seeing the Ullmark. Aside from that second game, this guy is kicking up the whole net.
Yeah. Right. Right.
You can't score.
I mean, that's how they've been all year, though. So
Yeah.
it's like not really surprising, but like they do look very good. I feel like they have a lot of guys contributing too. Like it's not just their top guys. It seems like a lot of different guys are contributing out there, which is what you need in playoffs.
Yeah, you got Marchand, you got Pasta, you got Zaka, you got Krejci, you got McAvoy, Lindholm, you got everybody.
Bertuzzi, you got Bertuzzi producing out there.
Who's related to Todd Bertuzzi? I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I
Oh,
assumed,
I
but
yeah,
like I
okay,
didn't know that.
okay. I figured that was it. So what do you think, like, because obviously there's a lot of series going on right now, and to cover all the series would be a lot to go through in one cast. But what do you think, like, what's one thing in in general that has stuck out to you these playoffs?
Now I know that this kind of comes up in a lot of the playoff runs, but and I'd like to kind of question this a bit. So whoever's doing the statistics on this, I want you to open up your eyes a bit.
Mm-hmm.
The hit count after the games. The hit count in the third period of the Winnipeg Vegas game was
Yeah.
61 to like
Just
47.
just in the third?
No, this is through the
Oh,
third period. 61 to
okay.
47. Now look, it's the playoffs, right? Gonna have more hitting. I do not think it was that high. What I want to know what they're qualifying as a hit. 61 hits out of one team. That's more than a hit a minute. That's not happening.
Yeah, I don't know what would be like what constitutes a hit and what doesn't. I'm assuming like if you even make contact with a guy, that's a hit.
I feel like it's got to be like
Hi-
intent to hit or separate the person from the puck.
Right, right. I would agree, but then like that's like a borderline thing. Like whoever's taking stats has it's opinionated.
It is. But I'm
Mm.
looking. I mean, you got over 100 hits a game. Like this, there's no. I don't
I
know.
don't know, dude. In
Maybe.
some of these series, there's definitely been a lot of hitting, like
Yeah.
a lot. Like this Toronto Tampa series has been getting out of hand in the third periods. Like the
Yes. And I'm
last two games has been absurd in the third period. Did you see the GM for Toronto, what's his name?
Dubas.
Yeah, Kyle Dubas. Did you see him yelling at fans last night?
I did.
I
I don't know what he's
well,
doing that. I'd
no,
like to know
you
the
know what?
context.
No,
I'd like to know
I
the
right.
context.
I actually because like I'm sure like these fans were giving it to him, and like fuck the fans. Like if like they're chirping you hard, dude. Like you don't just because like you're in the organization, like you have the ability to like defend yourself in a way. Now I don't know the context of it, but I could see it not being a good look. But at the same time, like you're passionate, your job's on the line, like people are being ruthless towards you. Like you're just trying to watch the game and you got like 5 40-year-olds just yelling at you in your face. It's like what in the any
Also, like in the video, you only see him, right? Like they
right,
don't
right.
show. So like I'm kind of like looking at it. It's like that could be like family that he's like just having a stern conversation with. Like I
What
don't know.
his kids were running around in the stadium. He
Yeah.
had to give him like a talking to.
I don't know. But like everybody's like he's giving it to Lightning fans. Like what if those are what if those are
Right.
Maple Leaf fans that he's talking to? Like
Right, right.
I don't
Well,
know. I'm kind of
and
on
you got
his
to
side for
figure.
this one.
I am too, because like I'm sure there's alcohol involved on the one side of like the Tampa fans, and like for him, he's like obviously heavily involved in Toronto, so it's like I see where he's coming from. Just like what happened the night before, or the game before with Tampa, Maroon and Perry and them in
Yeah,
the
in the
box. Like
box.
same thing, like same thing. Just because it's
Yeah,
the GM doesn't make it any different. Like you're still part of the team and
yeah.
your emotions are running high. So I mean, I'm on the side of the players because like and GM, like you are in it.
So I'm going to give you a little hypothetical here.
Okay.
You are the coach of the Milwaukee Machine. That was the team that we
Yeah.
created a couple episodes back.
Militia.
Milwaukee Militia.
Yeah.
You're down 4-0 in the third. You make an awesome comeback. It's 4-4. People have been in your ear the entire time.
I'm head coach.
You're no. You're the GM. You're in the box.
Oh.
You score in overtime. You win this game. They don't say anything to you. Are you saying something on your way out, or are you just exiting?
So I think what I would do is I'd make like one sentence chirp say it, and then turn around and leave.
Turn and
Like,
book it.
I'm getting out of there. I'm saying one thing, like something just like a dig, and then I'm out. I'm quick hitting out. Yeah.
Nice save, bud. I'm out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm doing one liner and I'm out. Yeah, I think that would be kind of sick. But then it'd also be kind of cool just to walk away and like be like, yeah, that's what I thought.
I agree. Now, all right. Now, did you think the hit on Braden Point was a penalty?
No, I didn't.
Okay, now,
I
but
thought it. Let me.
you
So
go,
I
you go,
mean,
you go.
you see that play 1,000 times in a game. Two guys going in the corner for a puck, and they're battling for position, and it just happened to be like Point was kind of turning, and then Riley kind of had like a slight push off, and like who knows, Point could have caught an edge right there, just a little one, and that's enough to send you flying over your feet. So I thought it was just like a battle and just like a freak accident. I don't think it was intentional or anything. So, yeah, I don't think it was a penalty.
Now, the only thing
Do
that
you?
made me think maybe this is a penalty is I imagined myself on the Tampa bench. If that happened to one, you're screaming for a penalty. Like you are.
Yeah, you definitely are. It depends on what side you're on.
Exactly. So it's I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Like,
But you didn't even like Cooper wasn't like he wasn't mad about the call or anything. Did you
well,
like
he was
he
mad
wasn't
that he ended up being on the PK after that.
right, but that was in fault to some of his team, like his players, but like you kind of have to react that way when that happens.
Yeah,
Like
you're
sticking up
going.
for your teammates. So he wasn't necessarily I don't think he was mad about the call. I think he was more concerned about Point than he was about the call because I think it
Yeah.
was just like a battle and it wasn't even really a battle. Like it was just like kind of battling for position on the puck. The puck was like coming right towards them, and so it was kind of just like a freak accident. So I don't think that was necessarily a penalty. Who do you think wins that series? Because Tampa last night dominated that game for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
I didn't see
You know
the
what?
OT too much. I was playing video games, but um but like in the second period and in the third, like Tampa was dominating Toronto every time they touched the puck. It was a dump in, and Tampa was picking up the puck, breaking it out, or chipping it out every time. Like Toronto had no momentum throughout the second and third.
I
I
would
thought,
say, yeah, no, I agree. I would say, I don't know. I mean, it would be cool to see Toronto win. Got some buddies that are Toronto fans. I guess I'm a fan of some of those guys,
yeah, me
the
too.
players. I like Matthews. I like Marner. But I don't know. I do like Tampa too. I'm also a little biased being from
Yeah,
Florida. So it'd be cool to see a Florida team do well again. I don't know. I think this one could go 7. I think so.
you think? Yeah, I think I want Toronto to win just because like I like those guys on the team. I like the way some of them are competing. Like Marner, I thought has competed really hard. Like I've seen
Leads
him
the
block.
playoffs in points
Does he?
too.
Does he
Got
lead the
8.
point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
and
got
he's
8.
blocking shots. He's diving over the ice to like, try to, poke a puck to his teammate. Like he looks like he's out there giving it his all, which is good to see, especially out of a guy who's like a skill guy, but like, doing other things too outside of
Yeah.
that to like, win a series. So I want to see them win, but like Tampa looked pretty good right there. I think Toronto probably squeaked that one out, so both those goals, those last two goals, good goals, but like that could have been gone either way.
That could have gone either way.
And I think Tampa probably deserved that win. So I'm interested to see how that series goes. One thing that I want to bring up in total that I've noticed out of the defensemen, which is kind of really surprised me, is on some of these goals, whether it be line rushes or like the one last night off that face-off play that who came around the net and scored like short side. Face
Darren
off.
Radish.
Yeah, so Radish, he came around the net off that switch. One thing I've noticed out of the defensemen who are defending these line rushes or on a play like that is they are not when these shots are going in, they're not stick on puck. They are dropping to a knee, they're tucking their stick in, and they're trying to block the shot. On multiple line rush goals, I've seen it, and on that goal, they're just dropping to a knee. Now, I don't know, and their stick is like tucked in away from them. Like on some of those, if your stick is out there, you're deflecting it up probably into the netting. And they're trying to drop to a knee and block it. Now, I don't know if that's a thing, like the goalies don't want you to try to deflect it because then it changes the angle of the shot. I don't know. I don't think so. I can see it in a way, but at the same time, like your stick needs to be out there at least taking away a pass, if anything. Like I forget who was on this line rush. I want to say it was like in the Winnipeg game or the Seattle game. Like the guy shot from the top of the circle and the defenseman's trying to block it on the line rush. Just put your stick out there and have a good stick, and that's not even really a threat. But like with some of these guys' shots, if you drop to a knee, you allow them to have a shooting lane towards the net, and they're picking corners. So
Yeah.
that's one thing I've noticed quite a bit on some of these goals is they're trying to block shots rather than stick on puck. And I don't know if that's like maybe I'm outdated, but I don't think so.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of that would cause it, I guess I haven't looked at that too much, would be the goalie saying don't do it.
Right.
Because there are times where you deflect it and it's like almost a tip for them. But
right.
like you said, yeah, if you don't have that stick extended, you're not going stick on puck, like the ability of some of these forwards to change the angle of their shot around the body, like
it's almost better
in the
for
Florida
them.
game.
It's almost better for them when you drop to a knee like that, because now they can shoot around you as a screen, like a quick pull around like your skate and shooting off like your toe of your skate or something. Like it's a great screen for you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I've been really impressed with the shooting. Like I said, the Hall goal against Florida. Yeah, maybe it's a bit soft of a goal, but I mean, you're absolutely ripping it from outside the top of the circle.
Yeah.
And it's going in. So, and then you guys see the one in the Vegas Winnipeg game as well. The guy kind of sets his feet and just absolutely.
Was that the one coming down on the right wall? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, that is the one I'm talking. Like, did he rip it like short side? I think.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's one of the goals I'm talking about, where the defenseman dropped to a knee to block it. Instead, especially when you're that far out, I think stick on puck and just.
I think that they may be trying to. I think it's more so the ability of the forwards than less so the on execution. Like I think the D are trying to get stick on puck and trying to like do everything they can, but some of these forwards are just so quick with
definitely
put it out there and then just all of a sudden it's coming off of the other side of your body and you're like, what's going on?
Right. No, I agree. Some of these forwards and their ability to like even deceive you, like deception on what you're going to do with the puck, and then they pull and shoot for sure. But I just don't see the point of dropping to a knee on a line rush versus having your stick on puck.
Yeah. Speaking of hits, now what do you think? We go back to the Wild Stars first game, Dumba, Pavelski. Is it dirty? Is it clean?
I thought it was pretty dirty.
I thought it was dirty too.
I thought it was late and it was high.
I thought it was very late. I mean, in real time, maybe not, but you know what you're doing, Dumba. You know what you're doing.
Because like Pavelski was coming off of another guy, like you know what I mean? Like there was a guy, and like so Dumba knew he had him lined up behind that guy, and he wasn't going to see him coming.
No, and it is the playoff, right? It's the playoffs. Everybody says the playoffs, but still, like, at what point? Pavelski's got over 1,000 games. At what point do you say, like, yeah, it was a non-effective shot, nothing happened. You let this the whistle had already gone, right? Or maybe it didn't, but let this guy go behind the net. Like, he's got 1,000 games. Like, why are we trying to take his head off? Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
Well, and I think, like, okay, Pavelski goes out with probably a concussion, I'm assuming, right? Is what he has.
Yeah, I'm assuming, yeah.
So he goes out with a concussion. Now, they lost one of their best net front guys.
Yeah, that's one of the best players.
Yeah, right. So now, since they lost one of their best players off a hit, arguably dirty hit, late hit, and high, there's no way there shouldn't be there is no way that there shouldn't be a suspension, because now you lost one of your best players from that hit, and the hit was arguably dirty. So it's like at least a game or two, considering Pavelski's in out of the series now.
In regular season, probably, I don't think they ended up giving him any suspension.
They didn't.
And I think they did. They ruled that like the high part of it was due to like a stick. I guess Pavelski's own stick hit his face. I don't know. but still, like, I don't know. I thought it was dirty. I thought
I
it was
did
dirty.
too.
What do you think about that? Have you watched a bit of that series?
Yeah, I've watched parts of it. It's so hard with these games overlapping
Yeah, they got to
that,
figure that out.
man, it's really hard to watch. I wanted to talk to you about this actually, so I'll bring it up. Like some of these times of these games, one, if you're on the East Coast, it's like it's
Oh,
impossible to watch the last two
the
games of the
sleep
night.
schedule, 2
Yeah,
a.m.
I know last night I looked at the clock when that the Avalanche
Seattle.
game finished. Yeah. It would have been like 1:30 a.m. for you.
Yeah, I didn't even turn it on because I knew if I turned
Yeah.
it on, I'd end up watching the whole thing.
Yeah, so I think the timing of them is awful. I mean, I like the 4-game stack in a day. That's cool. I mean, that's
Yeah,
great
it's
in
great.
terms
Yeah,
of
it's
being able to watch hockey all night, but like the timing of them and then like how they overlap is just really tough to like keep up on every series.
yeah, because you end up yeah, you could probably do two at a time, but the issue is like I want to hear the interviews in the middle of the period, but
Mhm.
then one of them's going in the middle of the period. Like maybe just back it up. Kind of sometimes basketball does this where it's like 4 o'clock, 6:30, 8. Like so they're actually like pretty spread out, but
Yeah.
the overlap, especially with overtime. I turned on the
Oh yeah.
Toronto one after Winnipeg. It was already 1-1. I was like, oh boy.
Right, right. So it's it's a little hard to keep track of like different because you'll be like flip flopping between games and stuff like when through periods and whatnot. I am not really sure who is going to win that series.
That could
I
be a
think
long one.
I think so too. I think it's pretty. I mean, it's a good battle. I think they're pretty like evenly matched up in terms of skill and like their compete levels really high right now. But I'm not sure. What do you think? Have you watched a lot of that series?
Yeah, I think Dallas looks pretty good. So do the Wild. It's
Yeah,
tough. That's going to be one like the Toronto Tampa, I think, where it's kind of tough to tell. My
yeah.
underdog of the whole
I
playoffs
got
so
one
far,
too. Okay.
the
Well,
team that I think could be a Stanley Cup champion right now is the LA Kings.
ooh, okay.
They look good.
They do. They do, and they're doing a good job of like staying with the Oilers in terms of scoring.
Yeah, they're doing a nice.
Because
I mean, yeah, they're doing. Look, still, Draisaitl and McDavid combined the number one point still, but
yeah,
regardless,
yeah.
regardless, I mean, guys that you don't really watch on the East Coast, like I've never
Hmm.
seen a lot of Kempe or Iafallo. I haven't seen these guys that much.
I was gonna say I
They
was gonna make a comment about Kempe. He
he's
looks
good.
good. He
He's
looks
really
really
good.
good. Yeah,
And
he does.
Arvidsson too. Like they look good, really good.
I
Kopitar,
agree.
obviously.
Yeah, I think Draisaitl, the first two
Oh,
games, I didn't really watch the last game. Man on a mission. Game one especially. It was insane the plays he was making out there. It was
people say
incredible, dude.
people say if you put Draisaitl on another team, he doesn't have the same amount of points. Okay,
Uh
he's still top 3 in the league.
he wasn't even playing on a line with McDavid game one. And
Yeah,
he was
exactly.
in his playmaking ability was insane.
You put him on Nashville Predators, he's got over 100 points.
I agree. Totally agree. It was like his way he handles the puck, his patience with the puck, his playmaking ability, his strength with the puck is it's crazy. And then his passing ability is
Yeah, he's a
top
sick
notch.
guy.
It was yeah. Now I don't know. Yeah, I mean LA got a big win game 3, so
Huge win.
huge win.
Do you think that was a high stick? You think that was a high stick?
Oh man.
I have my
Well,
argument, and my argument's good. So you go first.
I was listening to one of the broadcasts last night, and they made a good point. They're like the GMs, or the owners or GMs made an agreement that we want to see more goals, and we're not going to be ticky tacky on all these little things. So if that's the way they want it, then you can't. I mean, zooming in like super close on the stick and the puck, and even if the stick does slightly touch it, it has no effect. It didn't have any effect on where the puck was
Yep.
going to land or anything like that. Like the play was still going to happen, like whether it hit that stick or not. Like it's not like he whacked in and went 20 feet away.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good no call on that play to like let the play go on. It's in playoffs, OT. Like let's play hockey, not worry about ticky tacky things.
I like that. Okay, here's my argument. I am going to say it was a great no call. My
Mm-hmm.
reasoning as a player, I say we, I'm more so NHL guys, right? are
Mhm.
they know those rules so well,
Oh yeah.
so well that if they even feel someone's offsides, they're screaming for it from the ice.
Yeah.
If you watch Velarde, he doesn't even react like he's touched. Like, right? Yeah, he puts his sticks up there, but if he had thought that was a high stick,
Mhm.
he's not trying to kill he's not going to touch that and kill it, right? Their D is going to touch it, then he's going to go. Like,
Right.
he
Yeah.
doesn't even none of those players around are reacting
The only
until
one who did
after the
was
fact.
McDavid. The only
But
one who did
after the
was
fact,
No, he raised his hand.
oh, did he? Okay,
Yeah, like right when if the puck hit the stick, because he was like on the wall right there, kind of circling up. He raised his hand, for like
but
a
if
high
it goes
stick.
in,
But like
if
he
it
was
goes in, if it doesn't go in, do they even argue it? Probably not.
no, I don't think so. No, I agree with that because like you can tell like when someone touches like a high
They kind of
stick or
know.
like
You can
hand
see on their
pass, everyone
face.
kind of stops almost
Yeah, you
like
could see on their
playing,
face.
like
Like,
it slows down. Everyone's like, all right, who's gonna touch the puck? Who's gonna touch the puck? But
yeah,
for that one, like no one stopped play. Like the play continued like exactly how it would, like whether if he didn't touch the puck. So I agree with you on that. But I think like for a situation like that, overtime, it's impossible to tell. I think you just play on. Like you
yeah. Play on.
don't
I would
play
say,
until you hear the whistles.
yeah, which it seems like they did. Right, the goal didn't come till like 15 seconds after. Like it kind of went up the
Right.
wall, and then it kind of came down. Like,
Yeah.
so
I think that was a good no call. Here's my sleeper team right now. I don't think they're going to win the series, but their compete level is at it looks good, and I really like the effort that they're giving, I should say.
wait, I want to say it with you because I think I know what you're gonna say.
Oh, all right.
All
Ready?
right, 3,
3, 2,
2, 1.
1. Winnipeg
Seattle.
Jets.
Oh, good choice. I like the Jets.
They look, I mean, they're playing the number 1 seed, right? And they're giving them a tough time. They are giving them a really tough time. Like their compete level is crazy. I think some of their top players are playing really well. They're sticking with Vegas. I think last game did they go to overtime against them? They scored with like
Yeah,
a
overtime.
minute left, right?
Yeah, they came back. They were down 4-1.
Right. At home, whiteout.
Great barn.
Yeah.
Great
And
barn.
they're down 4-1 and they score 3 third period goals to tie it up. So I think like in terms of compete level, they look really good. I don't think they're going to win the series overall, but I really like their compete. I think they are doing a good job at giving it to a number 1 seed and not making it easy for them like it can be in, other series.
Absolutely. They got some players too. Wheeler, Connor, Lowry, Scheifele. I think Morrissey's out now,
Kyle Connor. I'm a big fan of Kyle Connor. I think
he had 72 points as a freshman in college, I think. Something like that.
Did he?
Pretty good.
I got a little story for you. So I played in a tournament one time. I played Bell Tire in Detroit. I was like playing with like their U16 team just in a spring tournament. I was on a team with him and Larkin.
It's a good team.
Dude, we mopped the floor in the tournament, I think.
I'm sure.
And him and Larkin were tearing it up. I had no idea who they were at the time.
Yeah, these guys are pretty good.
And then I saw once they go to college and got drafted, I'm like, holy shit, dude. They were mopping the floor with every team out there. It was crazy. But I'm a big fan of him. I think he's really good. I think he plays the right way and he can score.
There's some good. They got some players. I actually enjoy watching the Vegas games. After going to Vegas, I actually have like a better appreciation for like that city. But watching them, I mean, I love their home games. That whole like pregame Vegas show they got going on is awesome. And then it's kind of like a battle of two great atmospheres. Like
totally
also,
different,
what's weird?
like totally different atmospheres, but like both good atmospheres in way different ways.
You know what's a weird atmosphere situation right now? Well, yeah, they're horrible. Horrible. I'm not even gonna talk about it.
Oh wait, Rangers, New Jersey.
Yes, Rangers Devils. There's not a home like everybody's mixed. Like
you don't have a home game.
No, the Rangers are loud in the Devils bar and the Devils are loud. Like the rinks are probably, I don't know, maybe an hour, 2 hours apart. Like
Yeah.
That
I
is a
wonder
full go.
I wonder who has more fans like at the away game. So like does New
Rangers.
that's what I would think,
I think
right?
so. I think it's
I
just a
would
bigger market.
Yeah, I would totally. I think one game, I think it was like game 2, Rangers were beating up on them kind of good, and there was a chant in the rink about like "Let's go Rangers." It
Yep.
was loud. It was
Yeah, you could
really
hear
loud.
you that, which is really weird. I like when the other team scores, like the Rangers scored in the Devil's Barn, and it's loud.
Yeah,
Like you could
that's
hear their
how
fans screaming.
that's how it was back in Tampa in the playoffs when Chicago was playing them. Like
Hmm.
Chicago would score and it would be like loud in there because like there's a lot of Chicago people who are like live in that area. Same with Nashville, like when they had to stop allowing Chicago people to buy tickets for Tampa and Nashville games
All
because
right,
it
I have a
would.
question for you.
All right.
I want your top 3 traveling fan groups. Who do you think?
Oh, top 3. All right, well I'm going to be biased here and say I'll go Chicago pre 20 last time they made the playoffs in the bubble. So whatever that
Okay.
was, 2021 or whatever. I'm gonna say Chicago in that time frame before then, when they were making their cup runs and stuff. Another one I would say that would probably be pretty good would be Boston. I don't know.
Yeah.
These aren't confirmed, but I feel like Boston has a pretty solid fan base. Um, and then my third one, this is tough. I'm gonna say Detroit.
Oh,
No
that's probably a
reason
good one.
why. No reason why. I just feel like they have a great fan base there.
That's a good
Um,
one.
the only reason I don't well, see, I don't know too much about the Canadian markets now.
Yeah.
Depending on like I don't know like distance wise in Canada, like how far Edmonton is from Calgary or whatever. So I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'm sure some of those are really good. I just have no idea on how they travel up there. It's totally foreign to
I
me.
would say for me, like just because of Florida, like you grow up going to the Panther games.
Yeah.
If the Rangers, if the Maple Leafs, Canadians,
You know all
Blackhawks,
too well. You know all
Penguins.
too well about away crowds just
Oh
dominating
my
a rink.
God. I went to a Toronto versus Panthers game a couple Christmases ago
Yeah.
in Florida. It was a home game for Toronto. Like,
Well, isn't there there's like a lot of people from that Toronto area who go down to
yeah, a
Florida,
lot of
right?
people come down to
Okay.
Florida for the
Okay.
winter. Yeah. So
What
that's
do
who
you,
I'm going with for mine.
so wait, say them again.
I'm
Give
going
me top 3 of those. No.
Rangers number 1,
Hmm.
Toronto number 2, Canadians number 3.
Okay, I could see that for sure. I can definitely. The Canadian teams make sense. I wonder how much they travel into the U.S. for games,
Well, I think it's more
or is
yeah,
it just like
visiting.
they have like or do they have just like such a large fan base spread out throughout the states that if like your team is like Toronto's close to playing in Detroit, and that's not a good example because Toronto's right there, but like say Florida, yeah,
Yeah,
like do they have
even
a bunch of
Tampa. Yeah.
fans in Florida that
Yeah, when
like
Toronto plays Tampa, they
right.
pack it too.
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. Who do you think has right now, who do you think has the best atmosphere for home games for playoffs?
The Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That is so cool. The fact like the Panthers the other day put white shirts on the
What
back of
they
their
have like 10
seats.
people wearing them.
Nobody wore them. They
That makes
spend I
no
don't know.
sense.
The
Yeah.
whole stadium had white T-shirts that said "Time to Hunt" with a scratch mark, and they ended up
Right.
losing 4-2. Regardless,
But
not a
still,
single person on the live feed was wearing the shirt.
that does not make sense to me. I is it I just think it's just like obviously it's just the fan base there. It just doesn't
It's
seem
not clicking.
to. Yeah,
It's
they
not
just don't
clicking.
seem to, and they have a good team too. Like they've
They
had
do
a
have a
good
good
team for the
team.
last couple of years too. Like
Yeah,
it's not like they're a
playoffs now.
bad
Three
team. And
years in
like,
a row.
do you think it has to do with the rink location?
Yeah, the rink location's not great. It's kind of isolated in terms of it's in between a couple areas.
Yeah,
But also, I'd say like, I mean, they do a decent job of marketing it. They do,
yeah.
but
Well,
they've
look
just
at
been
Tampa.
bad.
Like they have no problem.
Yeah.
They have
Also
no
won the Stanley.
problem.
Yeah, good team. Yeah,
But
it's
I think it
tough.
might be
It's tough.
location. This is
Yeah.
my top playoff team or like, home. I like Carolina's vibe.
Yeah, they got a great crew.
I do. I feel like everyone there is like locked in on playoffs. Like it's not a huge market there, like in terms of like population compared to some of these other cities, but like the fan base that they have is like strong. I heard the beers are cheap there too. One of
Okay, I
my
got a would
buddies.
you rather. I got a
Okay.
would you rather coming at you.
All right.
Would you rather be the hurricane siren guy for the storm surge in Carolina, like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
or would you rather be the knight that bangs on the drum at the Golden Knights game for
I
one day?
think.
You just got it one day. Would you rather be? Basically, I'm
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
would you rather be in the storm surge or in the Knights pregame show?
Oh man. Okay, so I think doing the Carolina one would be cooler, but I'm gonna choose Vegas because I feel like after you beat that drum, like the rest of your night is gonna be legendary. So it's
Yeah,
just gonna be
you're
a
the
good
drum
night.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
you're
the
the
drum
drum
guy.
guy at the Knights game. Like you're gonna have a good time. So I think I would go with drum guys based off how the whole night's gonna go, not just that one moment. So
It's a good choice.
now, okay, so this is my last thing I want to bring up about the playoffs, right? Is this is just my take that every cup winning team for, whatever the last ever since we've been watching hockey, it always seems like to be a cup winning team, you have to have a defenseman who is producing highly offensive, like point wise. Do you agree with that? Like the reason I thought of this was like I was watching Brent Burns game 1 and he was playing lights out all over the ice, and then his playmaking, like his passes and stuff that he was setting guys up and stuff, was incredible. Um, and it got me thinking like about like back when the Hawks were making their cup runs, like you either had Keith or Seabrook producing like highly offensive, and then like last year, like a guy like McCarr who having a really good
Hedman.
offensive. Yeah, exactly. Like a guy like Hedman. Do you think like in order to win a cup, like you need a defenseman who's out there producing points?
Yeah, I would say you need somebody that's really facilitating the offense. Like right now, I would say that guy's Adam Fox. He's got 6 points. He leads all
Yeah.
defensemen. You look at Hedman. He was the Conn Smythe winner. McCarr.
Mhm.
Even the book I'm reading right now is called "No One Wins Alone" by Mark Messier. So it's
Yeah.
Messier's bio, and he's talking about the impact that Paul Coffey had on his Oilers teams.
Yeah.
Like I just think about it. Like every time the puck goes into the zone, Hedman has a good chance of getting it out. Like first
Right.
touch. Like
Well,
whether it be off the glass, a breakout pass. So I
well,
mean,
and the
having somebody that
thing,
could do this huge.
the other thing about that too is like that guy who's usually producing like that is usually their best defenseman. So they're playing the most minutes. They're playing the most minutes out of anyone on the
Maybe
team
half the game.
besides the goalie.
Yeah.
They're playing 30 plus minutes most likely. So they are out there for half the game. So if they can affect the game like that much, that's half the, you know what I mean? Like they're out there so much, like they're so involved that like I think you need to win a cup, you need a guy who can produce like that defensively and offensively, but mainly I'm focusing on offense.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could do them both, great. But if you're, like you said, you're playing half the game, Hedman is so big that in his prime, and I'd say he's still in his prime,
Yeah,
he is
he
able
looked good
to,
last night.
yeah, he's able to dominate the ice. Like nobody's
Mhm.
coming on his half, and he's
Right.
able to be the first one up the ice on his half too.
Well, yeah, and then you just watch him move the puck in the ozone, and
Yeah.
then like get the puck to the net. It's unreal. They're gonna be dangerous with him and Svestikov back. No, it's not Svestikov. What's the other dude? The Russian dude. Why am I blanking on his
Sergachev?
name? Yeah, Sergachev.
Yeah, Svechnikov on Carolina.
Yeah, I know
You
that was dumb. That was dumb. Yeah, so Sergachev and Hedman back. All right, so I think that wraps it up with our Stanley Cup playoffs talk. There's a lot of games.
Who's your
going
favorite
on
right now? Who's winning the cup right
Okay.
now? I want Conn Smythe winner and I want Stanley Cup winner.
I think winning the cup. This is tough because a lot of these teams aren't playing like crazy consistently right now. Like there's a lot of close series where it's like some teams are just finding their stride almost, it seems like they're just getting settled into playoffs, which is understandable. Right now, I'm gonna say it's boring to say, but Boston. I
Okay,
think
I'm
they
gonna counter that. You're
okay.
going with the Boston Bruins. Who's your Conn Smythe winner? Pasta. We go Olmark, probably the goalie.
Maybe Pasternak. I don't know, dude. There's still a lot of playoffs to be
That's
played.
right.
It's hard to say. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Marchand.
Oh, good choice. He's playing well. I'm going with it's the year of the East. The Rags, the New York Rangers are going to win the Stanley Cup,
That I want them
and
to win.
I think Conn Smythe winner is going to be Chris Kreider. It's my guess right now. That's my guess
He's
right now. Next week could be different. Today it could be different tomorrow, but
right.
right
We got
now,
a bunch of games on today. 4 games. So I want the Rangers. If that's who I want to win the
Patrick
playoffs.
Kane
But
would be nice.
did you see his goal the other day?
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He still got it, dude. Don't
He's
wait
still
until
got
they
it.
get if they make it past this round, which I think they're gonna, the way they look right now. I think he
He's
might
good.
he is good. And they got a lot of good players.
Could
They
be a
have
hurricane year too, though. Could be a hurricane. Could be the West. Could be anybody.
dude, they're dropping like flies, Carolina.
Could
Everyone's
be
getting
anybody.
hurt. They have bad luck right now in terms of injuries, and they're not scoring much. So I don't know if they're gonna necessarily get it done. But all right, do you got anything else? Do you have any other stories for me that you want to talk about? Anything you need to get off your chest?
I mean, besides me being rattled, I had a haircut the other day and it was 7 minutes long. I walked in the door at 4:30. I walked out the door
No,
at 4:37.
no way.
Yes.
How?
I don't know.
That's not good. That's never good.
No, that's why I got a hat on.
Let me see.
No. No.
7 minutes? Where'd you go? Great clips?
Supercuts. I asked for it.
Dude, you cannot. When are you going to learn? How old are you? 24?
Yeah.
Are you ever, dude, at this age, you're old enough now. You need to find a barber, a set guy who you go to every 2 to 3 weeks. You go to the same guy and you don't switch it up. Going to this, they pick out of a hat who cut your hair. It's not it, dude. You got
It's
to
not it.
go. You
It's not
got
7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Did she buzz it? Like, did she get a buzz?
She
And
get a little buzz
did
on the
she
sides and scissors on the top. Next thing I know, all right, you're
whipping
done.
the tarp off you? You're done already?
I was like, what?
What?
I said,
That's
ladies.
not good, dude. You need to find a
So
barber around you and go there. Pay the extra $1 and
it was like
find
you. It
someone
was like you
good.
yelling at the bike. I'm yelling at the haircut. I remember.
I would
Haircut.
be rattled. 7 minutes. That's just not enough time to get done what you need to get done.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we're watching hockey today. We got Hurricanes, Islanders at 1:00. We got Panthers, Bruins at 3:30. We got the West games today. Edmonton and Los Angeles. And we got one
That's
more.
going to be a good one.
Minnesota, Dallas.
I
That's what we
like
got today.
I like that. I don't think any of the series right now are 3-0, right?
No, not a single one.
Which is great. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, makes for better game sevens.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's get into some hockey today. Let's enjoy our Sundays and get done what you need to get done. Get your chores done for the day so you're all
Little
ready to go
homework.
for Monday. Get some
Little
homework
homework
done.
coming my way.
Honestly, I can't even imagine right now if I was still battling homework. Bless your heart
Just
for
gotta get
doing
it
that,
done.
dude.
Just getting it done.
It is. I'm going golfing in a little bit. So
Oh, have fun.
thank you.
Have
I will.
fun. I'm jealous.
All right.
All right.
Talk to you later.